Alright, I guess we have an image. Excellent connection. So there we are. This is my Spanish Hornet that I'm going to be using for testing my data cartridges that I've created for this template that I have in the Wunstorf area of the Cold War Germany map. And so you see a lot of waypoints, but that's because I've put an AWACS around here. It's got escorts of Mirage 2000s. There is a KC-135 over here, and then there is another refueler. This one is a KC-130. So if we want to refuel with the Hornet, that's the one we would take, Shell 3. And what I did is I've sort of put a lot of the radios already in the data cartridge, and I've also made some programs, and if I'm not mistaken, my program 1 for countermeasures will release 1 chaff, 1 flare. Program 2 will do similar to the F-16's default, which is 10 flares, 10 chaff. And then I have program 3 do 8 chaff, and program 4 do 8 flares. And the 5th program, I think, might do like chaff and flares at a more rapid succession. So that's the 5 that I've put in the Hornet, plus a lot of those radio frequencies here. So that's something we can test to see if I loaded it properly into the plane. And the mission that we're actually doing is we're taking off from Wunstorf. We're going to fly to this waypoint here, go to our IP, which is also where I put the bullseye, and then we'll head to these targets here. We can see there are some MiGs in the air, some SAMs possible, but in that area here where there are some bridges, we want to take out those zones with AAA. Maybe if we put the satellite view, you'll see that they're like camouflage close to the trees, lots of sandbags, but they have some man pads, they have some AAA in those areas. So when I do it with the Hornet, I think I might shoot rockets first and then maybe do some bomb passes on those 2 AAA positions. And I'll be using my flare program to drop some flares in order not to get hit by the man pads. So that's the plan. How well it's gonna go, we'll see. I think my waypoint for this plane is on this AAA site, but we'll see if we can hit the other one as well. And then, like I said, I'm testing my data cartridges, so maybe we'll fly back. Maybe we'll try to contact the KC-130 to try a refuel, but I also might try the F-16 afterwards. And so so far the only thing I checked was if I was on the base frequency when I got into the airplane, and it seems to be the case. So that was the plane. This is my cockpit. And so let's unpause and see what's going on. I've set up some of my instruments, and if we change the frequencies here, like from 1 to 2, like let's go back to 1, you'll see it's 121,100, which is our base here. The 120,200, it's Hanover there, so I think that was what we had at number 2, as you can see. Right now my comms 1 is on the AWACS, so I'll just switch it to com 1 to channel 3 so that we don't hear all that chatter. And as you can see, there are a few other frequencies that I've set up there. These are odd numbers. That's because they're some of the airfields around the area where we are. We'll mostly be using this frequency here for this airfield. And then we'll go back to channel 2, which is the AWACS. Maybe we could check for which channels are for the tankers. So let's go check here. This tanker here is 255. Oops. So 255, if I go here, it's gonna be, I was on 255 here, so channel 3 there, that's for that tanker. So we'll know that channel 2 is for my AWACS, channel 3 is for my refueler. That makes sense. Alright, so we have our flight plan here. We're going to go hit our targets. And so that's the plane. We're going to head in that direction. And since it's a template, might as well show off some of the things I've put here. I've put like a rearming station here where I've got containers and, you know, like little crates and people like waiting for us with a C-130 if we want to rearm. You can see there's a park Hornet there and some C-130s on the flight line. There's an F-16 there. So I made it look like it's inhabited a little bit, but this is the airfield and this is our runway. So it should be, I think, runway 26. Is that it? Yeah, runway 26 is the one that we should be going on. So again, to check my radio here, I'm gonna ask ATC at Wunstorf, request taxi.
3, request taxi to runway. 3, clear to taxi to runway 26.
So we've got our clearance to taxi. Let's just check the lights again. Yeah, they're flashing. Alright, so let's taxi now. The switches in their position. So that forward flight we hear engaging, this is our cap flight. I think we have some F-15s flying cap, and there are enemy MiGs as we saw earlier on the map. So we'll try to focus on our air-to-ground mission, but it's good to know that we have some F-15s protecting us.
Forward 1, engaging bandit at goals 072 for 35 at 5,000.
You can see on my plane that I armed it with sparrows and dumb bombs, and the pilot doesn't have the helmet-mounted sight because I do want to make it look like it's a Cold War type of mission. I think I'll just turn straight here though. Should have plenty of runway to take off. And we'll ask for permission to take off.
3, request takeoff.
I'll wait a few moments, but I've noticed that this tower doesn't seem to want to grant me permission to take off.
Passing waypoint 1 at 28,000.
It's usually only when I'm on the runway that they start talking again. Some runways it seems to work better than others. Those are the comms in DCS, I suppose.
3, unable to clear for takeoff.
There you go, now they talk to me.
3, you are cleared for takeoff when ready. Climb 300 at QFE 29.75.
It'd be a nice thing if they could fix those comms one day. Airborne, gears up, flaps up. As you can see, we have pretty clear skies, so that should help us with the mission. Since we will climb fairly high, we'll be able to dive down on the targets with good visibility and drop some flares as we try to hit our targets. It's my first attempt trying this mission as well, so I don't know if I've put too much of an enemy air defense there or if it's just going to be enough for what I want to test. Every time I put man pads, I feel a bit scared about whatever is going to happen, but we'll see. So let's check our rudders here. Seems to be good. Alright. I'm going to accelerate time since this is testing more than Just having fun flying. We do have our data link, I think. Yes. So we should be able to see if there's anything dangerous. Let's put it on a bigger scale though. There we go. So I want to climb to about Angels 20. I'll just bring it back to the regular speed so I can check a few things here on the map. You can see that there aren't too many enemy fighters worrying us right now. We see some F-15s there. Okay. So we're getting close to our Angels 20. Gonna give it just a little bit of afterburner. So we'll put the autopilot on, pretty close to our first waypoint. Let's accelerate some more. We'll switch waypoints. Now we were getting some messages of pop-up bandits, so let's check here. Yes, there is a pop-up bandit within that SA2 area. We'll check if it comes close to our target area, so that might need to switch to air. I'm just gonna check again my rockets. I've set them on single because I took the big Zuni ones and there's only 4 per pod there. And we have also some Mark 83s that are set for CCIP and nose tail on the fuse. So we have something 50 miles, still not a very big threat, but keep an eye on it. And our target will be somewhere over there. We see some smoke there. It's like a triangle of smokes, the target area where I'm going to go hit things, so it's kind of hard to see through the haze of the cockpit, but yeah, I see them there. And probably it's close to those smaller smokes there that we are going to hit our targets. So when we get closer, we'll probably see the river and the bridges. Yeah, I see the river now like this. Okay, so I guess we can switch to the other waypoint. I want to see if yeah, I think the F-15s have taken care of the MiG-21. You can see that they're intercepting. Takes a while for the textures to load.
Engaging bandit at bulls 088 for 30 at 8,000. Ford 2, splash bandit at bulls 089 for 30 at 7,000.
So they've splashed him, so we're good. Okay, so let's switch to our target waypoint here, TGT. And it's probably going to take us to the river there. One of the ways we can know where the target is more precisely is by doing a waypoint designate, and there we go. So it's in that area. Okay, I'm going to go back to waypoints. And now we'll switch air to ground. We'll turn our lights off because I think we still have them on, yeah. I still like to have my HSI here to give me an idea of the range. And so I'm gonna double check my EW that I'm on manual 4. So that should be dropping my flares. So I'm going to cheat a little bit going in the outside view there. So what we'll do is we'll invert, we'll dive towards the target, and then we'll drop some flares and maybe turn right. That's my plan. So let's see here where we're going. We've got one bridge, two bridges. I'm looking for this group of targets here. Okay, so we're accelerating towards the ground. Yeah, that's the second bridge there. So this is our bridge, this is our AAA. Dropping flares. See that it's not super precise at first, those. And we'll drop some more.
Altitude.
Let's see if they shoot back at us. Oops. My outside view's going berserko. I'll have to check why it's doing that. There's probably something assigned to an axis that is doubled. But I didn't see any little white streaks, so that means we probably took care of our man pads at least. So I think there's an SA-8 nearby, that might be what's lighting me up. Gonna give it some power. I could have dropped my fuel tank, that would have made me lighter. I think I'll do that now. Fuel tank, jettison, and down it goes. And so yeah, my outside view is acting really weird. And I'm gonna go on the other bridge here. There is another AAA area, and we'll drop some bombs there. So we'll switch to our Mark 83s. Try to visually spot. Okay, I think it's in that area. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, it's those buildings and tents. So let's start dropping flares. So I've dropped 3 bombs. I'm gonna turn left. As you can see, I can't control my outside view very well, but we can see the hits. Okay. Sorry about the spinning of the outside view. Must be one of those things where sometimes they have like a patch and they reassign some axes to something else that you didn't want it. Didn't want anything on it, but they put one there. So I'm gonna go to my original target because I still have 1 bomb, as you can see right here. So I'll drop that last bomb and we'll see what the results are afterwards. I usually like a little bit more of a steep angle. You can see there's AAA shooting at me there. Bombs away.
Altitude.
And again, I'm gonna try to control this, but yeah, get a good hit in the target area, but Since I can't play too much with the outside view, we'll just switch waypoints here and say that we're heading home. Alright. So for now I'll just do an attitude hold like this. And what I feel like doing is going in the, if I'm having trouble in the F2 view, I'm going to have a trouble with that view as well. But I just want to see how those targets have been hit. Yeah, well, I won't be able to do that. As you can see, it just wants to spin like this. So that's a bummer. Wonder if I can do it from here. Check my axes. I'm not sure. Special audio system. No, I guess I can't. Just control maybe? Ah, there. Axis. Head tracker. Let's just check. These are the joystick. This is the throttle. This is my rudder. These are the brakes. Zoom in, zoom out. So what would be the thing that makes things spin around? This? No, that's just for my radar. Okay. So what's that? Radar elevation control. Okay, it's this one. So yeah, there's something messing up my view, but as you can see, it's kind of hard to tell. It's not, doesn't look like it's anything I've programmed in there. Maybe if I just say OK, and then if I go there, you see now it stopped spinning. Okay, so maybe we will be able to do some sort of a bomb damage assessment. Let's just take we'll take this vehicle there that's moving, and we'll zoom out and get to the first target. That's the one I shot rockets at, and my last bomb as well. There's nothing left there. Okay. And the other AAA site looks like there's only one sandbag left, and I think we had started looking at it through that UAZ earlier. And yeah, that AAA site, tents, trucks, soldiers, man pads, all gone. Okay. So we managed to make that work. Now, just because it's fun, what I'm going to do is I'm going to test my Shell 3 guy. He's on TACAN 55. So we'll just test that. TACAN 55, enter, on. And then we should see something appear here if we did it properly. I forgot to click the on. There we go. So we see that the TACAN is there. I can click on that, and then we can follow SHL, which is shell. And instead of being on the frequency of the AWACS, we can go on the frequency for shell. So I'm just going to get off the autopilot. We're going to pay a visit to shell. So let's just put autopilot for barometric right now. I guess shell was going from right to left, so we'll turn left and we'll call them. Tanker, shell, intent to refuel.
313, request rejoin. 3, shell 3-1, proceed to pre-contact at 16,000 at 250.
16,250. Let's remove the autopilot. Get this plane a bit lower. It's not that I really need the gas, but I just want to go check if the comms are gonna work. They seem to be working, of course. 20 miles, we'll burn some gas. guess here I could switch waypoints even though I'm no longer following the waypoints, I'm following the tanker. We're now at about 16 miles on an intercept course for our tanker. Just below the speed of sound at Mach 99. We are over friendly territory here, so we'll try not to break too many windows. We're 12 miles. I don't know if we'll be able to see him soon. There he is. That's our tanker right there. He's flying at 250, so we're gonna have to make a hard break when we get to him. Gonna start losing some of that speed. And I guess just since we're here, we might as well extend the probe. We'll take a quick sip because we really don't need the fuel. When we get close to these things, we start getting close real fast. So. We might be a bit too soon to ask, but let's ask anyway. Ah, you see, he liked our position, so he's deploying the basket. You can see it there. Gonna slow down a bit. Determine where to put the throttle when I want to accelerate or when I want to stay at the same speed. I've dropped altitude a little bit too much. I'm gonna try to focus on the wing of the plane and that little tank that holds the basket. And then we'll get a little bit closer, inch by inch. connected.
You're taking fuel.
Always like to pause the game and go in the outside view just to see that wonderful connection. Always like this. Alright, so we know that this works. The comms work for that. So like I said, we have plenty of fuel because we're here and the base is right here. So we'll disconnect. We don't really need to keep refueling here. And we'll tell him thank you.
Report rejoin.
Get our little probe back in. Switch back to waypoint. And just maybe give him a wave as we go by. Thanks for the fuel. Everything worked out okay. And so I think that's our final. So let's head for our final 21 miles. Is he still there? Is the moon? I have completely lost sight of the tanker. Oh well. Not important anymore. So again, we'll just accelerate time. We'll go land this one and then we'll try it with the F-16. Here we can see that Hanover International, so that means our airfield somewhere over there. Oh, we see an Su-25 there on the map. What else is in the air with us? That's him. There's one there. Oh, you see the F-15s are trying to refuel. That's our refueler. That's the F-15s. That's the Mirages escorting the AWACS.
Altitude. Altitude.
Alright, so let's turn for final at the airfield. I went a little bit past where I wanted to go, so I'll turn left and start decelerating. And then, because our COM 1 is still on the actually it's COM 2 channel 1 is still on the airfield, we can call ATC at Wunstorf and say we're inbound.
Inbound.
I guess I can get off the frequency for Shell. We'll just put ourselves on frequency 6, whatever. And so let's get the gear down, flaps down. Oh, looks like there might be another plane on the runway. or somebody taking off. Yeah, it looks like somebody took off there. Big plane. Is that an F4? I think I might have set some F4s as, yeah, some sort of a cap flight.
Check landing gear. Runway 26.
Yeah, it looks like an F4. Gonna trim the plane, and now it's like it'll just glide all the way in. We'll still put our feet on the pedals, just be able to give small adjustments. Touchdown, speed brake out. Could have been nice for the people at the tower and turned my lights on, but forgot about that. Okay, so we're safely back. We'll just bring it in the parking somewhere, and then we'll switch planes. Actually, I'll reload the mission because I've gotten all the targets.
Taxi to parking area.
What I think I will do though is I might just, you know how now we can save missions at a certain point? Just in case I want to go try my other targets without the AAA and without the man pads, I'm gonna park my plane and save the mission. So there we go. This thing for some reason it's always like in the wrong position, but yeah. So we're parked, we're good. So I'll do this and I'll say save mission. So that's one of the new things we can do. It's like this is the name I had given to the mission, and I'll say no AAA, so meaning that I've killed the AAA. And so if I want to restart at this point in the mission, I can. But what I really want to do is hit quit, go to mission editor, and then we'll take, as you can see, I've put a lot of airplanes, but we'll take some of the F-16s. I'm trying to see what kind of F-16 did I put there. So that's Dodge 1, it's USA, the one's from IA, I'm guessing it's Iowa. And you can see that we have some CBUs and rockets. So just like the Hornet, I have hot rockets. They're not as powerful, but they'll probably do the job. And these are more powerful, I find. They're good area coverage weapons. And I've got some sidewinders for self-defense. And so what we'll do is we'll just reload the mission to try to go hit the same targets, but in an F-16. And I just want to go show, like here in the data cartridge, you see that it says F-16 Wunstorf. That's the one that I created myself. I gave it that name. It's checked there, it's checked there, so it's preloaded in the plane, just like for the Hornet that we just flew. I had an F-18 Wunstorf and then preload, so it saves a little bit of time. You don't have to do in the Hornet the Moomy thing, and the F-16 the preloading. Sometimes I go do it just in case, but we'll see if it works as we get in the cockpit, if everything's already in the right spot. We'll know for the radio frequency if we hear the tower talk to us right when we get in the cockpit. So this, I'll just go check the stream to see if everything looks good. Excellent connection, that's always nice. And so we have this here. Let's start. And so this is Dodge 1. This is one of the new liveries they have on the new MiG-29. Fits well with this map. I'll give it a few seconds for the textures to load, and then we'll click OK. So, as we can see here, it doesn't look like my frequencies have been loaded up, so we might have to do it manually. And so I haven't done that in a while. DTE, there it is. So COM and MPD, I think, are the two we need. Doesn't look like it changed it. Do I have to click load? I forget. That's the part where I haven't done it in a while. Let's see then. COM2, 1, enter. If I talk to the tower, will it... Maybe here I'll be able to see my frequencies, I don't know. Comms. Oh. We've got a lot of stuff here, but doesn't look like it lists our comms. So no, we've gone through the whole thing. I'm just gonna try the VHF. If I say taxi to runway, will they hear me?
Dodge 1, request taxi to runway. Dodge 1, clear to taxi to runway 26.
Okay, so frequency 1, it's just like in the Hornet. It's on the frequency of the airfield. I kind of like when I see the frequencies there, but I guess we'll live with that. For COM 1, I'm going to do it manually to get the AWACS. And that should give us the AWACS. Oops, AWACS, bogey dope.
Wizard 2-1, Dodge 1, request bogey dope. Dodge 1, Wizard 2-1, Bra 092 460 at 16,000 knots.
Okay, so that's working. Now let's get our cockpit ready.
Ford 1, slash bandit at Bulls 029 for 22 at 18,000.
I don't have any pods to power up, so power this up. Now I'm going to put this on program 4, which is the one.
Splash bandit at bullseye 044 for 18 at 16,000.
I was going to say this is the one for the flares, and maybe we'll test some flares as we take off or something, just to be sure it's working. What else did I want? I want to check my weapons. These I think I'm going to drop like a 4-pack the first time I drop.
In from the northwest, engaging bandit at bullseye 088 for 45.
With a spacing of 110.
Engaging bandit at bullseye
These I'll launch in pairs because I have 38.
Pop-up group 101 490 at 500 knots.
Air to air, I only have those. So okay. Alright, so that seems pretty good for the cockpit. The lights are on. So if I come back to my VHF, I can ask ATC for taxiing. Oh, I guess I've already asked, so we'll just wait until we're close to the runway. I'll just, oops, maybe my parking brake is on, yeah. So that's our pretty plane heading for the front line.
Forward 2, engaging bandit at pulse 086 for 29 at 10,001. Engaging bandit at bullseye 073 for 35 at 5,000.
I'll try getting closer to the runway before I ask for permission to take off.
Forward Dodge 1, request takeoff.
There's a lot of chatter.
You are cleared for takeoff when ready. Climb 300 at QFE 29.75.
Maybe that's what was wrong earlier. I didn't get close enough, but you know, you're supposed to call behind that line. And with the Hornet, I was behind the line. This time I wasn't, and it gave me clearance, so. Okay. We're good to go, so let's take off. Gonna have to reposition this. There we go. My track IR was a little bit off center. And now we should be able to take off. There we go. Now my view's not going 360 degrees around, so that's also very good.
Wizard 2-1, passing waypoint 1 at 28,000.
Center our rudder. And we can turn the lights off. That's one of the things I really like about the F-16 is the situational awareness you have with this screen, with waypoints being visible in 3D in the airspace. Even though I don't have like a helmet mounted sight, again, like if you look, this pilot's not equipped with it. With the HUD, I can see where the waypoint is in 3D, and so it's going to help for the ground attack for sure. You can see there's a Mirage 2000 there, the F-15's ahead of us, so it's all friendlies taking care of what's in the sky. Let's have a look just for fun. Oh, there is this nasty little guy trying to take off from an enemy field. We have the AWACS. This is the tanker if I want to take it with the F-16. Maybe we'll test later on. This is the tanker we had for the Hornet. This is our Eagles that are patrolling. These are the Mirages accompanying the AWACS. And the rest are just parked aircraft, I believe. Alright, so let's accelerate things a little bit. One of the things I could have done here is actually go back to the FCR. I can't. FCR, there we go. We'll make it soy. So we do see some things there. Angels 19, Angels 20, Angels 21. Looks like they're all friendlies. One of the things when you're heavy, you have like a high angle of attack like that. So sometimes it's actually good to give it a little bit of afterburner, gain some speed, reduce your angle of attack, increase the how fast you're going, and then when you get the throttle out of afterburner, you might actually fly for longer period of time with the fuel you have because you don't have such a high angle of attack. And we're passing that waypoint, so we'll go to the next one. So just set the altitude hold. As you can see, my angle of attack now is not as steep as it was before, and my throttle is below the little notch for afterburners, so I'm not burning as much fuel and I'm going faster. If we check with this, we'll see that we're at 490 knots ground speed.
Dodge 1, Wizard 2-1, pop-up group 091 460 at 500 knots. Dodge 1, Wizard 2-1, Rob 091 460 at 1,500 knots.
I'm gonna try something here just for fun. I was thinking that the beep 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 I was hearing might be from there, but it must be from something else. It's not from COM2. It's not from this one.
Dodge 1, Wizard 2-1, Rob 088 450 at
It's not the
4,500
threat
knots.
volume. It's not this one. Is it attacking? Nope. An ILS? Ah, it was an ILS volume. Okay, so now we know which one it was. Alright, so we're almost at this waypoint here. I'm gonna turn left. We'll have to keep an eye on that MiG there, but I think we have friendlies heading for him, so it means we should be able to do our bomb run. Now, just because I didn't test it after takeoff, I'm gonna test my program for flares.
Chaff flare.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that's how it's supposed to work. Good.
Wizard 2-1, passing waypoint 2 at 28,000.
So we know it's next to the river in front of us there, and we will also have... Okay, so let's switch air to ground. Rockets, we're good. Get the autopilot off. guess they're both claiming credit for it. Okay, where's the target? There it is, I see it. Might have inverted a bit early. Let me do something here. I'm gonna try to keep the target in view here. And now's a good time for inverting, diving. There we go. And we're gonna start pre-flaring.
Cap flare. Cap flare. Altitude. Altitude.
You can see we're still flaring, and I think we've done a nice job at eliminating whatever might have been in that area. So we'll try to go pay a visit to the other AAA and Manpad site with our big bombs. So the other target is near the other bridge there. I'm trying not to use too much afterburner because I've got my tailpipe towards the manpads. Oh, I just heard like a sound barrier being broken. I guess it's the friendlies. Okay. So what I'll do now is I will do a selective jettison. I'll jettison my tank and my empty rocket pods. And in the F-16 it's fun because we can watch it from the outside view. There they go. And we get out of selective jettison and we'll switch to these bombs. Now I've set up for a ripple of 4. So if I am to miss my target, I still have 2 bombs, which 2 bombs could actually complete most of the work that needs to be done. So we'll line up with our river again. We'll try to spot our smokes. So this was the first target. This is the second target area. This is the other bridge. So that's what we're trying to hit. So I'm going to try to keep it there so that I have a visual on it. And then we'll pepper spray that area with cluster munitions. And we've got 36 flares, so we've got plenty to drop. I think I might have started my dive a bit early here, so I'm gonna climb again. Hope that they won't fire at me before I dive again. Let's start flaring now. Bombs away. Flaring again.
Altitude. Altitude.
And we get a nice hit on target. I love when those cluster munitions hit where you wanted them to. So now just for fun, what I'll do is I'll climb here a little bit and put the attitude hold. We're gonna do a quick damage assessment here, and you can see that there isn't all that much left here. There's a truck there that moved away. But yeah. Oh, there is a ZSU, like, or ZU-23 that's still there. That could still hurt a few friendlies, right? So maybe we'll do our other pass here. I was thinking maybe I could go hit, there's an artillery position nearby here, but we'll go hit our primary target again. So let's go back here. And instead of attitude hold, I had put altitude hold. That's why it went straight and level afterwards. Easier to know where you need to go when you're in nav mode. I got a bit lost here, I gotta say. Okay, that's good. So we'll climb again. We'll go back to air-to-ground mode. And yeah, our target's going to be in front of us, close to the bridge. And we'll drop our 2 remaining bombs. And then maybe we can go test out the tanker. So usually when we're at 4 or 5 miles, that's when I can invert and start diving. Just need to spot the target area. Okay, it's this one here. Let's dive on this and try to see if we can get our ZU-23s that were somewhere here. Bombs away, and we'll practice dropping flares again just in case. The main pads might have survived. And looks like we got the bombs where we wanted them. Did it destroy the target we wanted? Let's go have a quick look. Yes, we got the target we wanted. And we got some trucks on as a bonus. And now that we've dropped all our bombs, we can go to Cat 1. We can switch to our next waypoint, waypoint 4. So now we'll climb back to Angels 20. Attitude hold. It's down, not up on this switch. I have that switch on the base of my stick. Okay, and there. I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I think the refueler is going to be on my channel 3. But no, it probably won't be because it's a 135. Okay. So we're going to look for Texaco on 135. Alright. So I'll try to see if I can get COM2 on, let's say, number 3. We'll see if we call Texaco, if he's going to respond.
Wizard 2-1, passing waypoint 3 at 28,000. Texaco 5-1, Dodge 1, request rejoin.
So it's not on channel 3. I'm trying stuff, otherwise I'll just enter 135 here, but let's try channel 4.
Texaco 5-1, Dodge 1, request rejoin.
So I could just enter them all one after the other, or I could just go 1, 3, 5.
Texaco 5-1, Dodge 1, request rejoin. Dodge 1, Texaco 5-1, proceed to pre-contact at 21,000, at 290.
You can see that he's here at 21,000, so we'll head towards him.
Ford 1 is RTB at 5,000.
So his TACAN is 7.0. Let's try something here. It's been a while since I've used TACAN on this. I go there, 7.0. Beacon text. And if I go with this here, TACAN. There should be an arrow pointing at about here. There's none. There's this one pointing there. That's the waypoint. Maybe we're too far from it. I don't know. Turn my nose in his direction. It's a good thing we have several methods of locating the plane we're looking for. We can look at this screen, we can look at our radar, we can look at the TACAN, but I don't master the TACAN very well in the F-16 because I have a hard time sometimes understanding where the needle is pointing and why it's pointing where it's pointing. In which mode does what. Like, it's that blue one, I think, here that I'm supposed to get on the tanker, but it's not on the tanker, whichever mode I choose, so I don't know. The good news is we're not too far and he's coming towards us, so we'll dive to Angels 21 and we'll just go find him.
Dodge 1, Wizard 2-1, pop-up group 090470 at 500 knots. Dodge 1, Wizard 2-1, Bra 0.
There he is, big thing.
470 at 1000 cold.
He's getting his boom down. We're gonna open up our little door. Maybe we could turn our lights back on. You see, now the arrow's pointing in the right direction, I think. Is it for the right reason? I don't know. And it's not really pointing in the right direction. Okay, so let's try to put ourselves in a position and then we'll call him again. Tank tanker. It is Texaco, right?
Ready, pre-contact. Return pre-contact.
I see he's a bit picky. We'll get closer in a better formation.
Ready, pre-contact. Cleared contact.
And now we will move forward. One of the things I like to do in the F-16 is go fairly wide, and then I pause my track IR somewhere here so that I can just check the belly of the plane and the lights, because that's all we need for this. I'm a little low. In terms of speed, I'm getting close to his speed. I'm gonna climb just a tad. Getting there. In terms of the position, I'm good. Maybe a little far forward.
Contact.
There we go. I was gonna see he's gonna tell me contact.
You're taking fuel.
And like I did earlier, I always like to show this is actually connected to the tanker. I love it. So nice. So this light tells you, like right now I'm a little bit low, I should bring it to this level, and this light tells me I'm a little bit forward, I should be about here, a little bit further back. And of course this here tells me that I'm losing altitude a little bit, so I'll want to bring it up. It's all those little things that you want to check, but mostly what you're doing is you're checking the belly and the lights. So let's try that. See, now I'm too far forward, I've disconnected. Climb up a bit.
At 3,500 knots. Contact.
There we go.
You're taking fuel.
Too far forward. Feel I'm a little bit low. Okay, now he's gonna turn. So now you have to turn with him. Just gotta get closer to his belly. There we go.
You're taking fuel. Wizard 2-1, passing waypoint 4 at 28,000. Contact. You're taking
How come I can't? Ah, okay, maybe because of this.
fuel.
I wanted to show the outside view, but I guess we'll stop it there because if we look at our fuel level, I'm at 6,500 and we're close to the base, so we'll just tell him thank you for the fuel.
Return free contact, report rejoin.
And we'll close our little door. And we're good to go. So let's switch to our final and then we'll go land. And just for fun, I'm gonna check my other programs here to see if they seem to be doing what they're supposed to do for the countermeasures.
Chaff flare.
Yeah, so the first one is just one chaff, one flare.
125,
That's what we drop.
at 3,000, full 3, airborne.
This one I think is gonna be like the usual default that drops 10 of each.
45, at
Chaff flare low.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. And then since we're like, we've got a lot of chaff left, we could go to 3, which is dropping just chaff.
Chaff flare.
Chaff, 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 chaff. Yeah, it drops 8. Okay. So the 4 programs are working as intended, so that's nice. And I think my frequencies are working as well. It's just that it didn't look like they were preloaded at the mission start, which I think I had that with the Hornet, not with the F-16. So I know they're still implementing a lot of features for those data cartridges, but it would be nice if stuff worked like I think I had learned it the first time. Alright, so our airfield should be right about there. Yes, it is. So we'll switch waypoints. Start lining up to land.
Altitude. Altitude.
Gonna glide for a little while without the air brakes because we're at 6 miles. Okay, let's go again with the air brakes. Pull on the stick to help it slow down. I like to raise the seat a little bit like this so that I can see the runway better when it's got the higher angle of attack. Let's get the gears down. And now I guess would be a good time to put COM 2 back to channel 1 and then ask for permission to land.
Dodge 1, inbound. Dodge 1, flying 60947, QFE 29.75, runway 26, to pattern altitude. Dodge 1, clear for visual, contact tower. Dodge 1, check landing gear, runway 26.
Okay, so they've given it to me without me asking.
Engaging bandit at bullseye 295 for 30 at 2000.
And we do a nice little touchdown, do a little bit of aero braking, and then braking with the brakes because I know this is a short runway.
Dodge 1, Wizard 2-1, Bra 101, 490 at 1000 knots.
And we'll activate nose wheel steering. So I guess we've tested our
Taxi to parking area.
data cartridges successfully. Now one thing I think I'm gonna do just for fun because I can, because it's Friday night, I'm gonna reload the mission. You may have seen that there were lots of other planes in the mission when we went in the editor, and I haven't flown my F-15E in quite a while. And so I thought the F-15E would be a decent plane to try that type of mission. I can't pre-plan my flares in the F-15, so I might have to drop my bombs from a bit higher, but I can carry bigger bombs and more of them, and so figured I'd try that a little bit. So, if I just set the events on kill, Dodge 1, I killed a lot of sandbags, a lot of AAAs, trucks, infantry, and I think there will be some man pads in there somewhere, like man pads tent, man pads guy. Where's the man pads guy? Yeah, you see man pads 2-1. And so yeah, that should be good. So yeah, on my base, I've also put, I think, a Mirage F1 there, and an F-15, and a Mirage 2000 as well. So those are all the planes I could use to do different missions. I think the F1 and the 2000 though are for the artillery. The F-15E, on the other hand, I think I've given him waypoints. Oops. Let me just reselect the plane. I think I've given him a waypoint for each, or did I? No, I didn't. Okay, so it's just a waypoint for this, but I can find this easily. We've done it a few times. So we'll just try it with the F-15, just because we can. Now, because before I load again, I'll check here things like, is that working okay? Good connection, that works well. Alright, so let's go try it with another plane. Gonna go with F-15. I'm gonna unlock my throttles so I have both throttles available. So the F-15 is right here. Now, although I think the F-15, I can't preset the comms in a data cartridge, I think I've preset them in the plane. So we'll see as we get in the cockpit. If we hear from the tower, it means it might have worked. I'm not 100% positive though. So 121100, let's see. Yes, it gives me a clear for startup, and we can see that it's on 121100. This one is on another frequency. So what I think I'll do is I'll put it on 264. And then if I click here, actually it's a 30 thing. So if I go like that, okay, it's this wizard. So we've got wizard on this one and the tower on this one. Okay, I'm just gonna pause it because I need to go use the washroom. So I'll give me a nice outside view for you to watch. Oh, and I thought I had switched my skin to another one than this one, but it looks like I'm with Billy the Kid. So, all right, be right back. Alright, I'm back. So the real pilots, they have diapers on their long flights, but I don't want to make a mess on the floor. So as you can see, I've got a load of CBU-87s, and I have a laser guided bomb like a GBU-10 in the center line, plus some sidewinders for self-defense, but trying to simulate, I don't know, late 80s and early 90s loadouts, so I didn't put AMRAAMs. So let's try to see here. Like, I have to go to the back seat to turn FLIR on, laser on, and for these I usually put them on manual. Alright, so let's go back to the front seat. Let's get rid of the stick. Put that on the TSD. Reduce the brightness, increase the contrast. That makes it look so much better. Maybe a bit of brightness, just a tad there. And so for the lights, I guess we could put a little bit of position lights and formation lights. We'll try not to forget they're on. This is our air-to-air radar. This for now we'll put on the HSI. I guess it was the HSI. Here we're going to set up our armament for air-to-ground. Program 1 will be my CBU-87s. And we're going to say auto or CDIP. I think I'll go in CDIP. And ripple multiple. And so we'll say for the interval Something like that. Unlike the F-16, I think this is like in milliseconds or something and not a distance, but I could be wrong. But it usually works pretty well with that. So that's going to be my program 1, and program 2 will be for the GBU-10 auto ripple single nose tail. Since I intend to use the cluster munitions first, we'll put those first. Go back to the air-to-air radar. I'll try to remember to turn it on when we get up in the air. Let's ask tower to taxi.
Pontiac 5, request taxi to runway.
Looks like it doesn't want to move. Am I that heavy? The thing with the F-15 is I don't want to make it go too fast, because once you get momentum, it just doesn't want to stop anymore. Right now it looks like something's activating the brakes without me asking it to, so it might be one of those weird things again. Axis, this is brake, this is rudder, this is joystick, this is power. What are these other things there? Does that work? Yeah. This is the TDC, okay. And this is my zoom. HUD video brightness. Oh, is that the one? Okay. Let's hit OK and see if the brakes work better now. Yeah, brake hold, it should be off, like this on, this off. Thought I had turned it off, but that's why. Okay, now I see. It's like it didn't recognize the input from my switch on the base of my throttle, so that's why I had to give it so much gas to just move a little bit. I should have put more distance between the two flights of Cap F-15s, because they seem to talk always on the radio at the same time.
Pontiac 5, request takeoff.
Okay, so for this plane, the cool thing is it's got a ton of power, so let's watch it all beautifully do what it does. Gears are up, flaps are up. And in this one, I'm not too worried about the fuel quantity. I've got 20,000 pounds of fuel, so I'm going like full afterburner to climb. And it's still accelerating at 20 degrees nose up, 25 degrees nose up. This is one powerful jet. Do have to trim it. There we go. Let's burn some of that gas. And we're already at 20,000 feet. So let's go with altitude hold. Let's turn it off for now and just set the altitude properly. Give it a little bit more acceleration. That looks good. Autopilot on. And so again we have like a good angle of attack, good speed. So let's turn the radar on, the lights off. Off, there we go. So now we're a bit more stealthy for the lights. Yeah, I thought I had changed the tail number and the skin, but I guess we're with Mr. Billy the Kid. We don't see it very well because we're on the shady side, but yeah. And so we're passing that waypoint, so I guess automatically shift to the next. There we go. So we got something on the radar. Over there at Angels 21. Is that friendlies or enemies? Since I don't have a data link here, I have to use this as my data link. And it's these friendlies at Angel 21. There are some more here as well. So we've got our flight plan there. That's our bullseye as well. I'm going to switch to air to ground. I'm going to switch that to my armament so that I can switch it if I need to. Guess we have still a little while before we get to the target. So. That's a MiG-21. He just took off.
At 1,500 knots.
I guess these are ground attack MiG-21s because they've got the rocket pods. Is that an F-15 over there? Yeah. If you look, they're right there, so. So we're just passing this waypoint. Now it's gonna turn to the next one. That's our attack waypoint. So we're 15 miles. Now's a good time to go air to ground. We can see our river over there. So I think what I'll do is I'll do like I did in the F-16. First I'll take off the autopilot and I will put my target a little bit to the right. Over here somewhere that I can see through the window. So now we see our bridges. Oh, it's like we don't see the mouse anymore. Is it Alt C or... Let me just go check again in these controls. Alt C does what? Clickable mouse cockpit, yes. Okay. Okay, so I wanted to point here at that area. This is what I want to attack. So now we're going to get ready to dive, and I'm going to have to drop my countermeasures more or less manually. So I'm going to reduce my throttle not to make too much heat. And let's go hit that circle. Lots of bombs falling. That's a lot of bombs exploding there. It's weird that I don't see any flares falling. So I don't know when I went to the back seat if I set this thing up properly. Both chaff and flare, yes. Okay, I don't see any countermeasures falling now. That scares me a little bit. Maybe the F-15 has less than I thought it has. I just want to check the area here though, because okay, this is just sandbags, so it's cleared. But if I want to go check this one, I won't have any countermeasures, so we're gonna risk it, but it's very risky. Because I can't really defend myself. It seems I'm out of countermeasures. But hey, I haven't been hit so far tonight, so that could be like my practice of how do we get out of trouble. I don't want to, but so right now I'm climbing in military power because I don't want to make too much heat. And then I'll try to drop my remaining bombs from really high. I could also drop my GBU-10, which would make it easy, but I was trying to do a let's try this. This. So I want to bring this over to that so that I can drop the bombs there. Bombs away. Let's get out of here. Let's try not to show too much heat to the target. And lots of bombs falling there. And so that's pretty cool. Now there's probably the SA-8 lighting me up. Let's put it on the 2s to know what that is. Yes, it's the SA-8. So now that the man-pads threat is gone, I'm just gonna increase my speed a lot and beam that SA-8. I don't see a launch, so that's good. Now supersonic, heading away. Alright. That was a bit stressful, but not too much. Now we're going to put our targeting pod, and the targeting pod right now I think is on our waypoint. And so what we could do is we could try to figure out if there are other targets of interest near it. So if we look at F10 map, there are some like supply trucks here that we could probably find. The artillery here as well. I don't know if there's anything left here. Not much, just trucks. And then there's a AAA there, but I think I'm gonna try to go either supplies or artillery here. So let's try that. Now if I look here at the camera and put it as my soy, if I look in this area here, I think this is the sector I want to check. Let's expand on that. Is that the area I want? Maybe not. Okay, I've got this bridge. Is that the other bridge? Or that's okay. That's the area here, I think. Yeah, that's the area where there's the artillery. We can see the guns pointing up at the sky, and they're actually shooting. This guy just shot something. Let's designate him. And so what I'll do is I'll set myself up for program 2, and we're gonna go drop a laser guided bomb on his head. So that's good. I'll zoom in on him a little bit. There. And we'll get ready to drop. Bombs away. We are lasing the target. I'll try to keep this right on the vehicle. He's still shooting some artillery. Maybe if the bomb hits him, it'll hit some of those nearby targets as well. Oh yeah, everything in the area just blew up pretty good. And so yeah. That was a great job. So I'm going to change that to my HSI. And if I go back to this, I think I want to go to steer point 4. There we go. And now we're headed for steer point 4. We got plenty of fuel to make it back home. Autopilot back on. And then we can go have fun, check out that artillery area. So you can see that I dropped it on this guy here. I exploded these guys, these trucks, these tents, these other trucks. The other artillery guns are still firing though, so somebody else is going to have to go and finish them up. But now they're only firing at 2 guns instead of 3. Now I know earlier like I did some testing with my radio frequencies for air-to-air refueling, but I think for the F-15 I'm just gonna go do a practice for landing. Now we do have an alternate here that I haven't tried, so like this is steer point 4, this is where we're going, and it's the same frequency as the base. I think here, is it? No, it's not. Okay, it's 122.100. So what I'll do is I'll put this here on 122.100, and we'll call them and say like we have to land as an emergency. And we can see that this is the airfield there. Let's see if that works. So ATC cell inbound.
Inbound.
One-way 08, so I guess I'll have to come in the other direction. So we'll fly past it and then we'll come back in the opposite direction to land. This is the indication they're giving us. Hopefully that's a long enough runway for a big fat F-15 with a ton of fuel on board. I know there's enough space in the parking lot, it's just the length of the runway that worries me a bit. Let's go check the map. So this is, well, 1.1 mile. It should be long enough. Because like our base is 1.01, so it's even less at our base. So yeah, we should be able to land at this one. There we go, it's taking its bloody time to load. And I turn my head like that, then it's like chook 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 chook, it gets long loading time. Boards up. And so we'll make a right turn, we'll get our gears down, our flaps down.
Ford 2, engaging bandit at Bulls 335 for 4 at 16,000. Pontiac 5, Wizard 2-1, pop-up group 107, 470 at 500 knots. Pontiac 5,
We use
Wizard
rudders
2-1,
here to help me
108,
turn.
470 at 1,000 knots.
And my angle of attack's a bit high because I deployed the brake and I wasn't going quite fast enough. Good thing that that tower just gave me clearance because I probably would have forgotten about it. And so let's bring this baby in. So we're a bit fast, so we'll slow down.
Low altitude. Low altitude.
It's not going to be my prettiest landing, I think. And now I think I'm going to have to go over because I would have been long on this one. Go around. It's better to go around than to crash in the woods. Yeah, I know. Let's just get the gear up and give it full gas.
Low altitude. Low altitude.
So that was a bit lame as a landing, but as I said, I'd prefer to go around and try again than to just end up rolling the big plane, big expensive plane into the woods. I'll fly a little bit further out. It helps to set up the approach. You gotta come in at a certain speed with a certain angle of attack with the boards out with the F-15, and so if you're not far enough when you do that, okay, I see what's going on. I'll put steer point 4 to give me a better indication of the distance. So I was on steer point 5 and I saw like 9 miles. I said, okay, now I could turn around, but from the runway I'm just 6 miles, which is 6 miles from the far end of the runway. So I'll wait until I'm at about 9 miles here, and then we can turn around. Yeah, that's better.
Ford 2 is RTB at 3,500.
Alright, so get the gear back down, boards out. That's good. That way we can set up where we want to go from much further out. Landing gear's good. Flaps are down. Boards are out. We're looking much better than the last time.
Low altitude. Low altitude.
Ford 1 is RTB at 5,000.
Touchdown. And we're gonna go nose down, then brake. And this thing doesn't want to stop. Scary, isn't it? We made it.
Wizard 2-1, passing waypoint 4 at 28,000.
So this is the side where we have an actual parking lot. Oh, okay, I could have gone to the far end here. Oh well. I guess if I don't want to fry people on the ground, I could put the radar on standby. Forgot to turn the lights back on the plane.
Pontiac 5, Wizard 2-1, pop-up group 113, 425 at 2,043, airborne. Ford 3, engaging bandit at bullseye 292, foot 45 at 2,200.
If I wanted to do air-to-air, I could have reloaded some Sparrows here, but I think some F4s have just taken off at the other airfield, so they're gonna go for it. I think that's like a Belgian, yeah, a Belgian Hercules. We'll go park in one of the circles here, like this one right there.
Pontiac 5, Wizard 2-1, pop-up group 109, 428 at 2,500 knots.
We've got the big metal stairs thing they can use to let us out. They look like they might be a bit too high though. That'll be good enough for me. Alright. Can we get the canopy open? Yeah, fresh air.
112, 426 at 2,000 knots.
So we'll put the parking brake on, the one that we couldn't get off earlier. There we go. And we'll do our lazy shutdown.
Pontiac 5, Wizard 2-1, pop-up group 110, 426 at 2,500, cold. Ford 3, wind from the west, engaging bandit at was 088, foot 45.
Let's go check out Ford 3.
Yaw rake. Yaw rake.
Trying to see. I think that's the one. That's engaging. Let's go check on the map where they are. F4s, and there's an Su-25 there. I think that's what they're going after. I'm curious to see. Now the funny thing, like we'll see up top, like the menu for my shutdown. Once it's done, you get a "Have a nice day" message. I always found that nice for the F-15. You can see one of the engines is shut down. Throttle right off, and then poof, it goes up. Oh, this guy, oops, he's lost some parts. You can see this guy's refueling. That's kind of cool. The AI are refueling. Doing pretty good. Where are those F4s? I'll click on this one so that I have the one that's probably going to engage first. These are cool looking planes as well, right? So who are they engaging now? The other Su-25? Okay. So my plane, in the meantime, has completely shut down, so that's what we wanted. Could have put the wheel chocks.
Chief, place the wheel chocks.
Copy. Wheel chocks are now in place.
There we go. That's a nice complete shutdown, and maybe we can see if there's something that's gonna create a fight of some sorts. This is nice. This guy's back on the ground. These two. These were the AWACS escorts. And so we'll get these guys to engage. This tells me I'm going to have to clean up my monitor a little bit because I'm looking in the sky for little dots, but my monitor is a bit dirty, so a bunch of things I think are the enemy, but there he is. He is right there. Right on the nose here. So he's got with the Fox 2, which has gotten the flares on the enemy. And now they're going to be fighting. That's the Su-25. I'd like to see it get shut down. That would be nice. There we go. Poof. That's what I wanted. And we see the shoot. And so that's a successful kill. And down he goes. Boom. Oh, and there's a MiG-21 there. So this guy's probably gonna try to dive. These two are engaged. So let's see what this guy does. Has he spotted the other MiG? Yeah, I think he's going after him. Yeah, they're in a little turning fight here. Is it the MiG-21 that got shot? I would guess so then. Ooh, now it's frozen. Yeah, MiG-21 has been shot down. Okay, so that was a fun little test flight of this mission, and so we know that our targets here can be handled. If we drop flares, we don't get shot by the man pads and we can get them. So hopefully that was entertaining for you guys. For me, it was a good way to record my testing for this template that I've made for my mission, and it's been good practice, I gotta say, with the cartridges for the Hornet and the F-16, and flying the F-15 as well. It had been a while that I hadn't done it, like at least 2 weeks. So hopefully you enjoyed that little show, and that's gonna be it for tonight. Cool handout. Oh, and DCS crashed.